Last week, Zanesville went into the locker room trailing by a point, even though the touchdowns were even. Loveland had to come from behind. They scored 3 times in the last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter to come away with a victory. Both teams won 35-28 last week. And here they are now, 24 minutes from a state championship game, and we're still tied. 14 all between Zanesville and Loveland. Plenty to come your way here at halftime tonight on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. So make sure you stay tuned right here with us as Emily Harkins is standing by down on the field with Zanesville head coach Chad Grandstaff.
Well, great comeback. How do you feel that your team has played in this first half so far?
You know, defense, we got to definitely tighten some stuff up. We're missing too many tackles, getting misaligned a little bit. Offensively, we just got to keep working to try to get first downs and put the ball in the end zone.
And what advice will you tell the guys in the locker room?
Hey, you know, you got 2 quarters to reach your destiny. You better come out and play like Blue Devils do.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Guys.
All right, Emily, thank you very much. Play like Blue Devils do. We'll see how they do. Tigers and Blue Devils are all tied here at halftime. 14 all between the state's top 2 teams. Plenty to come here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. Don't go anywhere. Halftime score here at St. Francis de Sales High School in Columbus. It is Loveland and Zanesville all tied up at 14. Well, for the Loveland Tigers, this is a program that hadn't been in the postseason since 2002. But now under first-year head coach Fred Cranford, this program is now 1 game away from a state championship game. We had an opportunity to visit with the Loveland Tigers this week.
1, 2, 3, Red Brothers!
I credit our success really to just the attitude, the hard work, and the coachability of our kids. The community support has been unbelievable, and that aids into a high school team success. There were some high expectations. There was a lot of talent here at Loveland. But to be truthfully honest, to bring in a new defensive coordinator, myself, 2 new schemes, to be this successful, it's very surreal, very humbling to know that where we're at and what we've done together as a team, as a community, and how we've gotten here. I think it's not just us as coaches. It's really a community effort. It's hard to put into words in what we've done since I've gotten here and the hard work that we've put in since June. There is a lot at stake, and when you're wrapped up in the community as Loveland is with our success, there's a lot of people behind you, and there's an expectation that let's go take it. At the end of the day, we're trying to alleviate some of that with, hey, you're here, let's just go out and have fun, enjoy the moment, and play our best football. The one thing that I put in place that's different in the past is really our offensive system. They were more of a power type team in the past. I'm a wing tee guy, brought in the wing tee offense. That's what I ran when I was at Bishop Fenwick, and it's what I know. Defensively, Coach Alex Wanstroth has brought his own system, which our kids have bought into, and it's the coachability of these kids. It was a change, a breath of fresh air, if you will, and I couldn't ask for a better group of kids, to be a part of my first year. Charlie Lawler is the heart and soul, the emotional, passionate leader on this football team. Everything he does on this field is contagious. He brings every ounce of energy, every ounce of effort, whether it's practice or on Friday night. Whenever he puts on that helmet, everyone around him becomes a better football player just because of who he is and the way he plays the game.
The student body's behind us, the community's behind us. As players, we were fighting for each other, and we soon found out that we're fighting for a lot more than that. It's truly humbling to have such a great support system going into the Final Four and going into the state championship. When you're willing to fight and die for the man next to you, I think that puts you head and shoulders above your competition. It's just been a fun ride. I love every minute of it, and I ain't ready to see it end until we play a state championship game.
High character, great leader. Brian Pop is one of those hard-hitting, smash-mouth, downhill linebackers, and plays with a lot of enthusiasm and passion. And Just what a great representation, you know, on and off the field, in the classroom. He's one of those kids that really do a lot of great things in the community, and he represents the Loveland family very well.
The connection between our team and the community has been incredible this year. They've just shown us so much support. Everyone is so hyped. Everyone's been behind us this whole time. We've had pep rallies, police escorts to the games. Everyone's coming out. Community has backed us 100%, making us believe that we're going to be state champions. Every game is a Super Bowl, Coach Cranford always says. So our first goal was to win the ECC, and now that we're in playoffs, our next goal is to take it all the way.
You know, win or lose, I'm definitely proud to be a Tiger. I'm proud of these young men and you know, some of the adversity they've had to overcome in the last couple years to get to this point, and it's been a very proud year for me.
Well, for those Tigers, they're 24 minutes away from maybe that state championship berth, but they're tied with Zanesville right now. Halftime of the Division II state championship game here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. Halftime score as you see the Zanesville band coming off the field. We are all tied up at 14 apiece in this Division II state semifinal. Well, we talked with Coach Grandstaff prior to the game. Coach, did you practice outdoors or indoors? We have an indoor facility that is available to us. We chose to stay outdoors as we visited with the Zanesville Blue Devils earlier this week.
Come on, get off the ball. Let's go.
The end of the season last year as a coaching staff, we met and we said we're putting all our chips to the middle of the table and our goal is going to be all in. We want to win a state championship, and that's where our one goal all in have come from, and that's been our motivation. Our players are extremely committed to winning the whole thing. You know, they're never satisfied, and they want to make sure that they have the greatest senior year that they can, and that's carried on down to the juniors and the sophomores. And it's just been great as far as their commitment level, and I'm really proud of them. I couldn't ask for anything more from them. Being from Zanesville High School, playing here, going to school here, and living in this community all my life, it's exciting. You know, out in the community, there's a lot of excitement. You know, everywhere you go, people are talking about Blue Devil football, and you know, that just makes our kids want to win that much more. You know, they understand that they got 4 quarters to you know, make that dream a reality, and I expect them to come out and play their greatest game. JT McFarland, he's one of our slot receivers. Running back, safety. He's a 4-year starter for us. Is an All-Ohioan last year. Just a phenomenal player. Just a kid that lives and breathes Blue Devil football. Has put in a tremendous amount of time to work to be a great player. And he had a couple setbacks this year. He was missed 3 games due to injury, but he battled back. And during his time he was out, his teammates picked him up, and we were able to continue on with our season.
It's important for us that the town cares about us and supports us because it just gives us extra motivation to play harder and work harder every day. Me personally, winning a state championship would be a dream come true.
Dar Stanford's been a great player for us. You know, when JT went out with those injuries, you know, he really stepped up and showed his leadership and kind of, you know, took over the role of, you know, some of the things that JT did, and he's just been a phenomenal player on both sides of the ball. And on top of that, he's just a great kid, a great student, been a great player for us, and I couldn't say more about how proud we are of Dar Stanford.
To bring a state championship home would mean the world to all of us. We've been playing together forever now, it seems like, and we have such good chemistry, and we feel like this is actually our last chance to get it done, and we can't let anything slip.
Austin Kimball, he's a great emotional and vocal leader who gives everything he has every play. And when it got a little tough in the New Albany game, he stepped up at halftime in the locker room and reminded everyone, you know, who we are and why we're here. And it's just been a rock on the offensive line for us. And again, we really appreciate everything he's given to Blue Devil football.
People have been waiting for this for 30-something years now. The whole school, everyone around this town knows how hard we work. I mean, they know what we go through and how tough it is, but everyone has been a part of it at some point. You go to the quarterback clubs every Monday, you see people that you've never seen before. You come out Friday night on a regular season game, you see the stands filled, you see the hills filled. It's just an amazing feeling knowing that you have all these great supporters. To win this game and the state championship, it would mean everything. I mean, it's never been done in the school's history. I mean, just last week, just to make it to the Final Four, we had supporters out on the roads cheering us on, just pulling into the school. I mean, as soon as we get out of the bus, we have people screaming our names. I mean, it's unreal. This town really needs it. I mean, that's what everyone's looking forward to.
You get to this point, everybody's good. There are no weaknesses. It's just a matter of who makes the most plays and who doesn't turn the ball over. So, you know, Loveland's a great team, and they do some great things offensively and defensively, and, you know, we're pretty good too. So we know we're going to come out and play our greatest game and understand that every play counts, and you don't get any of these back. So we're going to come out and give our greatest game, and hopefully we'll get the W.
Halftime score, it is Loveland and Zanesville, the top two teams in the last Associated Press poll. 1 and 2. Tied right now at 14. And Greg, great first half here tonight between these two teams.
Excellent first half. Both teams playing at a high level offensively and defensively, and both deserving of being in week 14, with both have a chance to advance to next week.
All right, let's take a look at the first half highlights. And Greg, the opening possession for Loveland, they end up turning the football over.
Well, trying to throw a curl, and it's jumped by Dar Stanford. And what does Zanesville do? It takes advantage right away. Excellent pass by Wibbler to J.T. McFarland for a 7-0 lead. And then Loveland comes back. Touchdown run by Gamble.
Next possession, 4th down conversion was big, Greg. Gamble then, touchdown run, his second of the night, but a late drive here by Zanesville.
Yeah, Wibbler comes back. Great play to Jordan Church, which sets up their touchdown to tie it up. Wibbler from 4 yards out to knot it up to 14.
So that's kind of how it was. A little back and forth action in the first half. The defense has certainly made some plays, and we see the statistics. And not surprising, Loveland heavy in the rushing total, Zanesville heavy in the passing. But what it comes down to, Greg, is only about 4 or 5 yards difference in the total offense of the first half, which really wasn't surprising to see.
Yeah, so many similarities here. And, you know, both teams are capable of running it and passing it. And I think the rush yards heavy towards Loveland, what we would expect. Very few drives in the first half, so I think the second half is going to be key. When you get the football, you got to put points on the board.
And teams, both of them, converting some key 3rd and long situations, and even the 4th down situation as well for Loveland. So we are tied at 14 here in this Division II state semifinal. We'll come back to St. Francis de Sales High School. Second half action is coming up next on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. Well, Chad Grandstaff and the Zanesville Blue Devils are 24 minutes away from a potential berth into the state championship game, as they are all tied with Loveland here at 14. Todd Bell, Greg Fry, Emily Harkins, our Time Warner Cable Sports Channel crew with you live tonight for this Division II state semifinal. The winner of this will play the winner of Glenville and Medina Highland. Another game that is tied at halftime, but those two are all tied up at 13 apiece. Let's check in with our friend on the sidelines, where it's nice and toasty down there, I'm sure, and Emily Harkins.
Well, I caught up with Coach Cranford at the half and asked him what the halftime adjustments will be. And he said offensively, we need to just keep coming at them. Defensively, buckle down, tackle better, put pressure on their quarterback, and execute on fundamentals. Guys.
All right, Emily, thank you very much. And Greg, I want to talk a little bit about, we talked with Coach Grandstaff of Zanesville before the game. Last week, they allowed 21 points in the first half, 3 touchdowns. Only 1 touchdown in the second half, and 2 key fourth-quarter stops defensively because of adjustments that they made with how their defensive linemen reacted to the offensive linemen. Do you think we'll see some of that here tonight?
I think so. And, you know, he talked about going off the field before halftime. Is that one thing, they've got to tackle better. But I think they got to come off blocks better. I mean, that's just critical because they're outmanned up front by probably 60, 70 pounds apiece. So you got to get off the blocks, and I think you'll probably see a little more penetration from the linebackers. They had success with that in the second quarter.
He was talking about we were cutting guards, and then their guards lined up further from the line of scrimmage, so we started cutting their tackles, and I'm like, what are they talking about? Isn't this just run, throw, tackle? No? There's more to it than that?
I'm not so sure you want to call it cutting, but they got lower, let's say,
okay.
penetration.
Is cutting not legal?
Depends. Depends on which coach you ask. There's a large gray area there right in the middle. Some teams do it very well, and they live in the gray area.
Well, you see Zanesville line it up. They're going to get the football to start the second half here, Greg, and their offense is just coming off a possession in which they scored going in this same direction. So they're going to get the ball back in the hands of Thomas Wibbler and the Blue Devils.
Yeah, and again, I think for them, they got to. Last week, Jamal Gladden was big in the second half. And I think, again, tonight, they've got to be able to run the football. We know they can pass it, but if they become one-dimensional, I think it's advantage Loveland. So they got to establish the run. I think that's really going to open up the passing lanes. Todd, you can feel the energy in the stands. Both these crowds know what's at stake here.
Mathers' kickoff is received back at the 10-yard line by McFarland, and he will spin his way out over the 25-yard line. That is where the Blue Devils will come out onto the field here for the first time in this second half. Well, live coverage tonight of this game between Zanesville and Loveland. Road to the state finals will continue tomorrow night right here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. Division I powerhouses Moeller and Davidson will meet in Dayton. The winner will win Region 2, and they will represent that region in the state championship game. Your thoughts?
That's going to be a good one. That's going to be a good game. You couldn't pick two more vastly different teams than Moeller and Davidson. Great matchup.
Should put on a show tomorrow night at Welcome Stadium. You saw our other matchup tomorrow night as well with Hartley in action as the first down carry out over the 26-yard line. And a short gain on first down for the Blue Devils and Gladden. You see the drive in the chart and what happened there. You can just count that last drive. It's really only 3 possessions for Zanesville in the first half. Wow.
And that's not a lot. Both teams really did a good job possessing the football. They had some longer drives. But 3 drives and a half is way less than what they're used to getting. But the positive is they got 2 out of 3 were touchdowns.
Second down throw over here to the near side. Dar Stanford, who really wasn't very much involved in the first half, but he's going to make a catch here for about 10 yards. And that'll be a first down. Stanford had 1 rush, Greg, in the first half. This is a guy that'd love to have the ball a little more frequently in his hands.
Well, he got it on his hands on the defensive side of the ball with an interception. But interesting, though, Loveland changed up their coverage. It went more of a shell up there, but the corners are very soft. And Wibbler took advantage of that. Good throw and catch.
Wibbler in the first half was 6 of 9 passing for 89 yards. He was sacked 1 time. He threw a touchdown. And here's a guy, Greg, who has thrown the ball over 300 times this year with only 7 interceptions. First down, near side, Stanford again, and it'll say he kept his feet in bounds. That's a gain of 8 on first down.
And this is one of those, I would throw this until Loveland rolls their coverage up again. They've got soft corners, keep throwing the outcut, and I think that's maybe one of the adjustments they talked about. Hey, we can make these throws. You got Granger along in the slot, so he's occupied. You got one-on-one outside.
And they'll work it to Gladden. Runs right up into Charlie Lawler, and he slows him down right at the midfield stripe. Gain of about 2 on first down for Jamal Gladden, who had the big second half last week. 90 yards in that second half rushing on his way to 126. He had only 16 in the first half here tonight. And we've got a stoppage of play. I think got a headgear issue here with Lawler. That's the last guy they want to lose.
Well, it didn't come off, so if they can adjust it quickly, he can stay on the field.
And I think that might have been what the official was saying. Lawler may have thought he was going to have to come off the field, and the
coach was
official
like, no, stay on the field.
So after the first down run by Gladden, right at the midfield stripe. Quick little pitch and catch. This time it's Granger Long on a quick snap. They pick up 12, another first down.
And this is interesting. I mean, Loveland's really soft back there, and you're leaving these guys open with a soft corner. Really, it was 2-on-1 over here. And this is just pitch and catch. Nobody's underneath. There's no outside linebacker to cut off that throw. And a nice pickup at Granger Long.
But Long almost wasn't expecting it. It happened so quickly. Wibbler caught it and got rid of it in a hurry.
And that could be one of those reads that's just purely a visual audible by Thomas Wibbler. If it's there, he's going to take it.
Looking this way again. Long again. Over the 20. Gain of 20. First down at the 18-yard line.
Well, I love the, I'm sure at halftime they were talking about, hey, we got some seams down the field. So you can see how Wibbler looks to the outcut. Granger Long works behind the linebackers, and that ball is on the money. See him look outside, then throws it right in the hole. And if Granger Long keeps his feet, he might have scored. But that's all set up by Wibbler. I mean, he used his eyes to look the defense off. That's a veteran quarterback right there. It's there again, the outside.
First down. Couple of fake pumps. Long this time, can't hang on. Maybe took his eyes off of it for just a moment, and it might have cost him.
Yeah, he's giving a look to the sideline. Sorry, my bad, guys. Little pump fake on the outcut. We'll come right back to this. Yeah, he was looking at the end zone. He was thinking about what dance he was going to do.
Second down, coming up now for the Blue Devils. Guy picking the ball up there, Michael Weber. He knows what to do with it if he gets his hands on it. Had the game-winning defensive score last week in the waning moments of their come-from-behind win over Mount Healthy. Second down play now. Wibbler again looking left. Back corner of the end zone. Long. He didn't hang on. It's incomplete. And it'll bring up third down. Boy, could that ball have been placed any better by Wibbler? As you see the players tangled up in the snow and ice.
It's a great read. It's a little bit of a, we call a smash route. Outside guy sits down, post corner, ball's in the money. Great read, great throw. It's one of those you got to make the catch.
Wow.
Difficult catch, but you got to make that catch. But again, Wibbler, excellent read there, an excellent throw. Look at that, 71%.
64% on the season, so he's a little better here tonight. And on a crucial third down play here, the Zanesville Blue Devils are going to call a timeout. Hate to use them early, as we aren't even 2.5 minutes into this third quarter, but in a tie game, possessions, as we saw in the first half, were few and far between. And they want to make sure here that they have what they want on this third down play. Let's see what Zanesville, well, they've just been so dominating in the last couple of weeks of the regular season and then in the 3 games of the playoff, Greg. We talked going into last week's game, they had pitched 17 consecutive scoreless quarters until finally New Albany cracked them last week. But this is the team that has cruised through much of this season.
Yeah, it's impressive when you've got a great offense, but a stellar defense. That's pretty rare.
Third down play, they need to get to the 9. Wibbler lets it go, and a little bit too far out of the reach of Stanford. And it'll be 4th and 10, and a decision for Coach Grandstaff.
Boy, that one's on Thomas Wibbler. He rarely misses a throw, but he knows where he's going with this football, and he's got a throwing lane just too far outside. That's normally pitch and catch to Stanford. And I go back to the second and third down. You don't miss opportunities like they had with Granger Long in a game like this. You don't get them very often. You got to make those plays.
First 4th down try tonight for the Zanesville Blue Devils. Opening possession of the third quarter. They marched it right down the field. But now on 4th down and 10, can they keep the drive alive? Wibbler steps up, throws, and it's incomplete near the goal line. The Loveland Tigers defense has held.
The Zanesville faithful are obviously rooting for a little bit of a pass interference call. McFarland had his hands on him. The free safety came up and hit him right about the same time. That was Mather and Mather, excuse me. Boy, that's a great call. I mean, a great play by the free safety to come up and knock that ball down.
Thought the contact and ball getting there were simultaneous.
It was close. Yep. It was very close. I mean, that could have been gone either way.
So first down from the 19, and on first down, the handoff to Gamble, and he runs right into Devin Green. So maybe a gain of a yard on first down. Here's what the Tigers did with their possessions in the first half. 3 plays, first drive interception, but pretty effective on their next 2 drives.
Yeah, those are pretty solid drives right there. 9 plays and 11 plays, both resulting in touchdowns. Running the football, Gamble putting it in the end zone. That's what they do. That's what they excel at.
Had that 3 and out. It resulted in a punt, but that was just in the last seconds of the second quarter. Out of the gun this time, Drew Plitt will hand it off, and coming around the end is Luke Waddell. And partner, the hitting seems to have increased here on these first 2 defensive plays by Zanesville.
Well, Tristan Rock, as you would expect from the middle linebacker position, comes over to make that play, but it's physical. You can hear it. But that was a good pickup on second down. Put him in a 3rd and short situation rather than 3rd and long.
3rd and 4 now coming up. You see Rock, we've noted a couple of times tonight, garnering the number 53 a little more frequently. It's a number he wears when he has to play some offense. On the offensive line, he's chosen to just stick with it on defense. 3rd down play, they need to get to the 29-yard line. It's Gunnar Gamble, first down as he spins his way out near the 33. He'll pick up 8, and another first down for Gunnar Gamble, who Greg rushed for 87 yards in the first half.
Look at the hole. Great job, great block by Lever, and he's following Waddell up in the hole. Excellent job by the right guard and right tackle there. Lever especially coming underneath. Balke kicking out. Lever underneath up in the hole. Excellent execution.
Good look at Gunnar Gamble as Plitt this time will hand it off. This is Waddell, and they've got him strung out again. That defense, Kaufman and Green coming up and making the tackle.
I really like what Ben Kaufman did there. 5'9", 150 sophomore. Sticks his nose up in there. As a corner, you've got to do this. You've got to accelerate. Watch 15 come to your screen right here. Turn it back in. And the help is there in Devin Green.
Yep. Now, Kaufman's a guy, a sophomore, generally in pass coverage. He has 6 interceptions in a backup role in his secondary. Tonight coming up in a little run support. 2nd down and 10 after a no gain out of the wing tee. Gunnar Gamble straight up into the hole. Nothing doing. Gain of maybe 3. And there is Jamal Gladden coming up making another tackle from that safety position for the Blue Devils.
Gladden and Jeremiah Jones. You can see 24, 21. Yep. You know, also going to be interesting tonight, as much as Jamal Gladden plays on defense, and he is an excellent defender. He might be better on defense, but he's on the field a lot on both sides of the ball. That could be a factor in the 4th quarter.
Averages 7 tackles per game. They'll roll Plitt out this time. Good coverage downfield. He's going to let it go anyway. He's got Elfers and a catch at the 37-yard line for a first down. 2nd key catch of the night.
Well, they don't throw it a lot, but Drew Plitt is certainly capable of throwing the football. And play actions where they can hurt you. And, you know, right here I thought he might run it. He could have run for the first down, but great vision downfield, sets his feet enough to get the ball to Elfers, who goes up to get it. Excuse me, Hesse.
Yep. Got my 8s and my 9s on the jerseys.
Going up to get that.
Yep, that's Alex Hesse. As we return to live action, nowhere to go this time for Waddell. There's that defense again.
This time Brandon Paul with the penetration. And there's your penetration, just coming straight down, and he got help from the right-hand side.
35.
I believe that was Daniels at ninth through, and Brandon Paul cleaned it up.
So after giving up a big play on the pass reception by senior Alex Hesse, they lose about 3. Gunnar Gamble, good cutback this time, but nowhere to go. There's lots of blue shirts waiting for him out there. And in the second half, Greg, this Blue Devil defense has certainly come to play.
Well, they're getting off blocks that we talked about. David Johnson there, Jamal Gladden, and a host of other blue shirts. And it looked like when he bounced it outside that he had some room to run, but you could see the speed of that Zanesville defense.
Good look at the guys up front. 75, Austin Kimball, Brandon Ball, 55. Kimball's the guy we saw in the piece at halftime. Very well spoken, talking about the support. And the fans have made the 61-mile trek due west here to St. Francis de Sales to support their Blue Devils. Blitz gonna let it fly. He's got a man out there, and that's a touchdown. There are no flags on the play. It is Giovanni Ricci on the touchdown reception of 40 yards.
How about that throw by Drew Plitt? This is only the second time tonight they do a straight drop back and they throw the post over the top to Ricci, and that ball is on the money.
First catch of the night for Giovanni Ricci. And now Evan Burig to try the important point after, and it is no good. He hooked it wide to the right. But Loveland has taken the lead as Drew Plitt, sophomore quarterback, hooks up with junior receiver Giovanni Ricci, his 4th touchdown of the season, and Loveland in front now, 20-14. Well, as we come back, you see the touchdown pass by Drew Plitt to Giovanni Ricci. He was open, but Greg, we were talking during the break, that's only about his 4th pass of the night. And on a cold night, it's not easy to let one fly like that.
Well, on a 3rd down, I don't think Zanesville is expecting a straight drop back pass, so a gutsy call by Fred Cranford. But he trusts his quarterback, and he caught him in the right defense. I mean, he caught him in a blitz. Great job protecting up front, and Drew Plitt delivered.
All right, and with more on Giovanni Ricci, let's check in again with Emily Harkins.
Well, guys, Giovanni, only a junior, was starting at quarterback before Drew. Drew started about week 4, and Coach said Giovanni is just a tremendous athlete. He's a state hurdler, state jumper. He's a big kid, 6'3", 195 pounds, and he wanted to play wide receiver because he's a huge athlete. He would be a great guy to have out on the perimeter. And luckily for us, he said Giovanni loved that position, and he's a big target for Drew, guys.
And only the 4th catch in the playoffs for Ricci in his first postseason touchdown. And boy, it couldn't have come at a better time, but the point after was hooked, and it's 20-14.
Missed the extra point.
Wow, that's the 3rd postseason miss by Burig after a perfect regular season.
We've seen a few of those become costly this time.
Yeah, we have, haven't we? Well, the kick returns have also been good by that guy in the foreground, and McFarland, and they get it to him again on a low squibbler, and he'll take it from inside his own 10, but this time they've got him slowed down and run out of bounds on the far sideline at the 20. Well, the Zanesville Blue Devils on their opening possession of the 3rd quarter, Greg, they were able to drive inside of Loveland territory, but their possession ended up falling short after a 4th down throw near the end zone. Now they take over. Gosh, was this probably their worst starting field position of the night? Their own 20, 19.
It's their worst start. They had one on the 20-yard line, but yeah, the last drive turned it over on downs, which is something rare for this offense this year. But a couple of drops and a missed throw by Whibbler last possession. That normally those are plays that they make. Unforced errors.
First down from the 19-yard line. Play action to Gladden. Now Whibbler's got to step up from behind. He's going to be brought down right back at the line of scrimmage. Oh, this defense, and is that Darren Sackett, I believe, on the tackle from behind that time.
That's a good thing Sackett got pressure. That's one of those, you know, when you blitz, you got to get to the quarterback. And you can see the pressure coming up the middle.
It's going to end up being Lawler. I'm having all kinds of trouble, partner, with some of these jersey numbers.
But Whibbler had a couple guys open, so if they're going to come after him, they got to get him, and they did that time. And boy, if Whibbler was able to set his feet, 2 guys wide open.
Trip receivers to the bottom here for Whibbler, who will hand off to Gladden. He runs right into that Loveland defense again. And Weber in there on the tackle this time for Loveland.
That linebacker core pretty strong. with Weber, Lawler, defensive end, Bryant Pop, and Sackett. Those guys are all having good nights.
Zanesville gets back to the line of scrimmage, and now they'll look over here to the near sideline, and this turns into a key third down play for Zanesville. Had their drive stall inside Loveland territory last time. Now they've got to get out to the 29-yard line to keep this set of downs alive. Wibbler, pressure immediately from Weber, and he brings him down, although the throw has gotten away. And I believe they're going to call it a sack back at the 11-yard line. The referee has called him down. And, oh boy, they brought Weber off the corner, and he was untouched to the quarterback.
Nobody picking up Weber. Wibbler, I mean, he got rid of that football, but the whistle had blown.
So the punt is coming up, and McFarland's got to be back inside his own end zone to get rid of this. He had a 33-yard punt in the first half. This one will kind of knuckleball downfield. It is on the carpet, and Zanesville has recovered the football. Second turnover against Loveland, and what a break by the Blue Devils.
Well, just when you think Loveland's going to have an advantage with a short field, really no wind tonight. Beaver just bobbles that thing, and the Blue Devils are right there, and here's their opportunity.
James Clark fell on it. Kind of said that ball knuckleballed downfield. It wasn't a spiral or end over end, and it ended up being difficult for Beaver. And so a new opportunity as you see Clark 14, who recovered that fumble. First down, Jamal Gladden running with a little more purpose, and he'll drag a tackler for 5 yards. That was Lawler on the stop that time for the Tigers, but not before Jamal Gladden picks up 5.
New life for Zanesville after 2 drives in a row with 0 points.
Good look at Jamal Gladden running out of space on that helmet for those decals. After 13 weeks of winning football games, Gladden first down all the way to the 45-yard line of Loveland. Well, that is 2 hard runs for Jamal Gladden. Well, you can see him after the play, and the emotions are running high now.
You got the chess match going on. You know, Brian Pop was out of the box, and you see him come in late to make the tackle, but he's out there trying to cover Granger Long and Dar Stanford, and when that's the case, Zanesville wants to run the football.
First down from the 45-yard line. Wibbler coverage to the air, and it's Stanford. Spins, stays in bounds, but he stumbles to the 30-yard line. Oh, he is a tight-roping act. Almost got him down the sideline for a touchdown. As it is, they'll pick up 15 yards.
This is the first time tonight Loveland went straight man coverage, and Wibbler recognizes that. And, you know, Stanford, if you miss, he's gone. You can tell. He turns around, almost took that to the house.
Wibbler throws, and he had Granger Long open, and it went through his hands and incomplete. Oh, my. Boy, that is the second time, Greg, that Wibbler has had Granger Long in the end zone, and he hasn't come up with it.
Yeah, you can see just he's throwing this in rhythm. He knows exactly where he's going with the ball. Looks right, goes back left, and he might have got lost in the lights on that, but catchable ball.
Last minute of play, third quarter. Loveland with the 20-14 advantage. The winner will take on the winner of Glenville and Highland, and right now it's Glenville, middle of the third quarter, winning that game 20-13 up in Parma. Second down at 10. Wibbler with some time. Hit as he lets it go, and it's caught in traffic by McFarland at the 8-yard line. Oh, did Wibbler take a shot just as he lets go, and a 22-yard pickup.
But if there's any coaches out there watching this thinking, you know, this guy's not big enough or can't play at the next level, you better watch this replay because Lawler blocks him. And that ball is right on the money, throws it in front of, over the linebacker, in front of the safeties, on a dime. That's a big-time throw.
McFarland, touchdown catch in the first quarter, makes a key catch here to set up first and goal now for Zanesville. And it's back to the ground. It is Gladden, and he'll walk in untouched for a score. 9-yard run, Jamal Gladden. And for the second time tonight, Zanesville takes advantage of a turnover by Loveland.
What a drive. Just when you think Loveland was going to have the advantage, they fumble the punt, and Whibbler and company makes a pay. Gladden, look at the blocking downfield by Stanford. Now, with the extra point, they can take the lead.
Jamal Gladden. Boy, the drive started with him and a couple of strong runs. It ends with a 9-yarder. And Logan Graham's point after is up, and it is good. And Zanesville has taken the lead.
A great job mixing the pass and the run. Look at the blocks right there. I mean, everybody's got makes their block. Gladden puts it in the end zone.
Touchdown run number 22 for Jamal Gladden this season. He has earned a little drink of water. And Zanesville, after the extra point, has taken a look. Did you see Logan Graham, the kicker? He had a little false start. He actually started forward before that ball was
You think
snapped.
he was thinking about the extra point a little bit?
A little anxious.
You think?
Oh, boy.
Hey, partner, it's we're near the fourth quarter here.
Yeah.
This is crunch time for both
Certainly
these teams.
Certainly is. You see the intensity right now in the eyes of the players down on the field.
You can tell the intensity level picked up a bunch in the third quarter. I mean, the fan base that's here, both teams well represented. They want nothing more to be playing next Friday for a state title.
So, 21-20. There's Evan Deaver, who dropped the punt moments ago. Would love to get the ball back in his hands. He's had a couple of real good kick returns tonight, and he'd like to make something happen here and atone for the miscue moments ago. Graham will send it into the air, and Deaver will back up inside the 10. He'll work his way to the left side. He's tripped up all the way downfield. Special teams play for Zanesville, and a good one by Olajuwon Pettiford.
How about Pettiford? Just suicide mission right there, running right through, watching Pettiford lay himself out. Boom! Big play on special teams.
Well, now it's up to the offense of the Loveland Tigers. And on first down, they hand it off to Luke Waddell. And a run of about 4 yards for Waddell on first down will take us to the end of the third quarter of play. We were tied at 14 at halftime. Loveland got a touchdown pass from Flint to Giovanni Ricci. But a failed point after, left it 20-14. And on the other end, Jamal Gladden with a 9-yard touchdown run, and Zanesville leads by 1 at the end of 3. Great sights from our first 3 quarters. We've still got 12 more minutes to go. Fourth quarter, Division II state semifinal, live here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel with Greg Fry. This is Todd Bell. Emily Harkins down on our sidelines as on 2nd down and 5, the run here for Loveland's Gunnar Gamble will set up 3rd down and short. 3rd and about 3 right now. And maybe, Greg, one of the hardest things if you're Loveland is to try and not do too much right now. Still a lot of fourth quarter to go here tonight.
Well, to me, this is one of those times where you do what you do best. You do what got you here, and that's running the football. They've run on 1st and 2nd down. I would expect it on 3rd.
3rd and about 2. And they'll roll Flint out. He's going to keep. He's got the first down to the 40-yard line. Picks up 9. Boy, a hard-running team, crossing them up with some play action, and Drew Plitt making a decision to keep it.
Well, I love the call. You see the pull. Andrew Alton's going to pull. Look, he's got a wall of blockers out here. Great execution. Waited for the right time to call this play. They want to run the football. There's no doubt about this drive. It's all about running it, and they pull the quarterback keeper there. Loose chains.
First down and 10. They'll toss it out this time. Luke Waddell. Well, he had him bottled up, and somehow he explodes forward for 13 yards. A play that was going nowhere, and it's a first down for Loveland.
I'm telling you, he is Barry Sanders quick, because he was dead to rights. It's a quick pitch to the outside. He's going to take it outside and watch him stop, stutter, miss. Very quick.
Dar Sanford had to make the tackle. Downfield for Zanesville. Sophomore quarterback Drew Plitt walks up to the line of scrimmage. And on first down, it's Gunnar Gamble, and he'll stumble his way forward to the 39-yard line of Zanesville. Quick 8 yards for Gamble on the play.
I love drives like this, Todd, because you know what you're going to get defensively. If you're Zanesville, you know what's coming. If you're Loveland, that you know this is what we're going to do. You got to stop us. You're going to get Waddell, Gamble. You saw Plitt run the football. We're coming right at you.
Both teams 13-0 on the season. There's nothing worse than having your only loss be the last game of the season that you play, and on a second down and short, the handoff and a gain of about a yard or two. 2 minutes gone by now here in our fourth quarter.
Jamal Gladden again on the tackle, so he's going off the edge unblocked.
Into the eyes of those players right there. Danny Krusel, the senior center, 52 in the center of that screen. Intensity on the sideline for Coach Cranford and the Titans. Third down and short. And they'll go play action again. Plitt trying to keep again, but this time they got him strung out and he'll lose yardage. Great pursuit that time. Leading the charge was Jamal Gladden. They lose 4. It'll be fourth down and 5.
Well, the first guy to really get the penetration is Tristan Rock. But Gladden comes out the block, and what a great play by Jamal Gladden. And they're going to have to punt now. I mean, they had a second and short situation. They lose 4. Not in a position to go for at this point in time. You got to punt, play defense. Great stop by that Blue Devil defense.
And coming out to punt will be Evan Burig. One punt, 29 tonight. On fourth down and about 5. I would imagine the Zanesville defense right now will be playing pretty safe, guarding against a potential fake. And they didn't get the play off in time, so they will back them up 5 yards.
Red ball, delay game, number 4 on the offense. 5-yard penalty remains. Fourth down.
Yeah, that took him out of any thoughts of a fake right there with the penalty.
Scores are starting to trickle in across the state on state semifinal night. And what a battle between Kirtland and Reedy. And Kirtland wins 10-7 on a field goal at the buzzer.
Reedy had a great season. And I really felt they had a good enough team to make it to state final and win.
This ball is kicked and will be fielded at the 10-yard line. And you can stay tuned following this one, as you will see both Marion Franklin and St. Vincent St. Mary and Reedy and Kirtland. Those games coming up. Check your local listings for the times in your area. And you will see the replays of the semifinal games. Zanesville will take over, Greg, inside their own 15-yard line, right around the 13 with 8:27 to go. Big drive right now.
It is, because now you've got a situation where you control your own destiny. You put points on the board here, touchdown, you're up 2 scores. But at the minimum, you want to get some first downs here.
No touchdown will only make it 8. As the handoff up the middle to Jamal Gladden.
I stand corrected.
We just make it 8 little extracurriculars after the whistle because of that missed extra point. Does make it a little more difficult, though, if you are Loveland. But your point is still correct. Zanesville controls everything right now with the ball and a 1-point lead.
It's all about the clock here. You have to assume that Loveland's going to score one more time. So you can't get conservative here. This is one of those tough situations. And Loveland defensively probably going to get a little bit more aggressive here.
Second down coming up. They stay with Glad. Good cutback. He'll stumble to the 25. That'll be a first down. Gladden on one end, Gamble and Waddell on the other end. Their vision, Greg, to see that little bit of a seam and cut back and get the necessary yardage.
Excellent vision. Cuts off the block. Lawler was getting blocked, cuts it upfield. And how about the second half of Gladden? Again, we saw this last week on both sides of the ball. He's doing it again tonight because he's making the plays on defense as well.
Remember, Coach Grandstaff said before the game, he said, we only got about 17 or 18 guys playing in this game tonight. So you know how well-conditioned they have to be here in the fourth quarter of a state semifinal to still be out there and given the 100% that number 24 is tonight.
I'm telling you, Coach, offensively, when you get a tailback that's playing on defense, that zaps a lot of energy. So I'm thoroughly impressed with Jamal Gladden's effort. Not only his effort, but the fact that he's making plays. It's not like he's taking plays off.
A little bit of confusion right now over here on the near sideline. Both, we've had Loveland run on and off about 3 or 4 different players. The head referee has been over here to the near sideline with the Zanesville coaches.
Loveland's got 12 guys in the field.
Well, they've had about 15 out there.
And they're still confused.
And unfortunately, it might have been a clock issue. They may have been adding time. Looks like they've added 10 seconds back to the clock so it reads 7:31, and now the clock will roll. See what Gladden has done tonight, but he was so instrumental last week in the second half. Let's watch that number perhaps creep up here in this fourth quarter if they continue to go to him. First down and 10 for the Blue Devils. Ribbler's going to go to the air. He's got McFarland and he hangs on. Yes! Wow! At the 47-yard line, we do have a penalty marker back near the line of scrimmage, but I don't know how McFarland hung on to that football.
Thrifty came off the hash. Hit him low. Great read again by Wilbur. Great read, great throw, and Thrifty's going to come and just undercut him.
Oh!
And how about McFarland hanging on to that football? But it's all going to be for him. We had a hole.
Ineligible receiver downfield, number 59 on the offense. 5-yard penalty remains. First down.
Well, now, a rather unusual call. You see 59.
There he goes.
Yeah. Boy, he was thinking either run or scream, huh?
That's
Zach Clapper.
That is a gentlemen. We have a failure to communicate issue when your center's running downfield. That's the wrong play in his mind.
So first and 15 now. And Ribbler again over the middle. Jordan Church is open. He's into the secondary into midfield. Well, you erase one big play and then they come back to Church and he'll gain 30. That's the second 30-plus play of the night for Jordan Church.
I can't find an adjective for how big of a throw that was. Darren sacked the linebacker, never saw the ball. I mean, that was a frozen rope. The Church in traffic, but big throw. He saw the hole. That ball's got to be thrown on time. He hesitates at all. It's intercepted.
I just can't get over now, 2 weeks in a row, watching Thomas Ribbler, the composure he has in the pocket. On first down, it's back to Jamal Gladden. And he'll carry for about 5. You and I were talking before the game, Greg, about Whibbler, and you had seen him earlier this year against New Philadelphia in a game here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel, and we had the game last week against New Albany. And he just stands there in the pocket, whether it is trust in his offensive linemen, that they're going to protect him, or the guts to just hang into the pocket to the last instant. We saw him get just crushed by Lawler earlier in the game as he threw a perfect strike over the middle to McFarland. He doesn't have the size, as you mentioned, only 5'11", but he's got some guts and he's got the courage and the smarts to play that quarterback position. Second down and 5 again, and it's Gladden. They slow him down, but not before he picks up a couple. It'll be 3rd and short now, and you see that time, precious time, ticking away against the Loveland Tigers now.
Yeah, they're shoot about 3 minutes on this drive. Here they're in a 3rd and short. Another first down is really big here. Big 3rd down.
Coach Cranford, not much he can do, but hope that his defense can come up with a stop. It is 3rd down and short. You look across the way there. They've got to get right to the 40-yard line for a new set of downs. Blue Devils get that play from the sideline. Thomas Wibbler looking at his center, takes that shotgun snap, gives to Gladden. Had to break out of one, but couldn't break out of a second. Lawler got the initial penetration. Weber and Janad came up and finished him off, a tackle for loss.
Yeah, Lawler got there first. You can see the intensity coming off the block. And there's Weber and company to make the hit. They got penetration. They knew they had to get it. And not only do they get penetration, but a tackle for loss takes Zanesville out of any chance to really go for it on 4th down. Big time play
Yes,
there.
it is, as the punting unit comes out onto the field, and JT McFarland takes the knee-high snap. He's going to run to the near side. He needs the 40. He got the first down. Wow! JT McFarland took that direct snap and took off on a dead sprint. Got the first down by 2 yards.
Are you kidding me? How about that call? I mean, that's one of those, I believe it's his choice. It didn't look like a call fake. He saw it and went. Player's choice. That's called playmaker making a play when it counts. Wow.
That's the senior folks taking over and saying, we're going to get a first down here.
And he had a decided heart that he's going to get the first down.
My goodness.
How about that?
Would love to have had the heart monitor on Coach Grandstaff. Now it's Gladden. He's into the secondary. He's got Church leading the way to the 5. He dives. Touchdown, Zanesville. There are no flags.
How about that chain of events? Pick up the 4th down, look at the blocking, you see pressure. Love is trying to get pressure in the backfield. Well blocked, gets to the outside. Church gets the last block, and Gladden finds the end zone.
Jamal Gladden with his second half touchdown. And a big extra point now coming up for Logan Graham. Ben Kaufman will put it down. Tristan Rock does the snapping. That all looks good. The kick is up, and it is good.